Welcome to a step-by-step tutorial on tips for connecting your RV to house power and more RV home storage tips. So now the trip is over and you have to store your RV at home. How to hook up your RV to house power, how to charge the coach and motor batteries at the same time, how to keep mice out of an RV. RVs are great, but more often than not, they're not being used and they are parked somewhere waiting for you to come back again. Well, if you store your RV at home, you know there are a lot of challenges and maintenance tips to learn. I was like you, and through experience and reading tons of forum posts and asking questions, I've come to a process that's helping us keep our 30 amp RV always ready. Whether you have a 30 amp or 50 amp, Class A or Class C or anything in between, we'll go through some of those best tips in this video. Hey guys, welcome. Today we're going to talk about RV storage, specifically at home. This is probably more for beginners or if you're thinking about getting an RV. But if you have other tips, you're seasoned and have tips, I would love to hear from what you do as well. So the first thing that we do is obviously before you even get home. You come from your trip, we make sure that we empty our black tanks. And usually I also empty our fresh water. So you're going to have fresh water in the water heater, you're going to have water in your water tank, you're going to have water in your gray tank. You want to empty all that out, make sure that you flush the system of water. One caveat is that this is summertime right now in July in the southeast in North Carolina, so it's a little bit more focused on summer or general storage. I think in the winter you have a few things that are going to be different. I'm not going to go into those in detail, such as winterizing the pipes, whether it's through antifreeze or blowing out the water, or also putting gas in the tank with a stabilizer, and other few things that are winter specific. So today it's going to be more general storage, summer storage, but these things will also apply to the winter as well. So the first things you'll notice is that we have wheel chucks at the bottom. We have a driveway that is not level, it's on a slope, so we have to make sure that our RV is safe for the slope that we have. But of course, if you have a level driveway, this is probably something you're going to want to do anyway, whether it's chocks, wood, different things that would just make it stop from rolling. That's the number one safety thing that I would say. The wheel chucks are fairly basic. I got rubber ones. They usually come with a nice little handle. They're pretty solid, anti-slip, easy to clean. They have ridges here. They also have a nice slope for the wheels. So I'll put a link on these in case you want to look at the ones I got. There could be bigger ones. These are, probably normal size. They're not that big, but they do the job. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in the coach, the RV, into our home outlet. So if you are able to get close to an outside outlet from your home to be able to charge the interior battery, for us, what we like to do is we're plugging this into our home so that then we have some electricity coming into the RV, and it gives us the option to use that electricity for other things we'll talk about for maintenance. Now, when you plug into your home, I usually like to make sure that this is off, and then we can go ahead and plug in the cord. One thing you're going to need is an adapter. Now, this adapter is for a 30 amp plug that goes in here, and then it plugs into a normal outlet at your home. Our outlet outside of the house is a 20 amp outlet. So I think this is a Camco product. I haven't had any issues with Camco. Some people like it, some people don't. It's pretty popular in the RV world. In general, they have decent or products that you can depend on. But I know that you can get picky. You can probably find something that's maybe better quality. But this came with the RV. We bought it used, and this is actually working just fine for us. You need to make sure that whatever you plug in through, whatever power that's going in through this 30 amp into a 20 amp house outlet, and your house outlet could be different, could be 15 amps as well. I know some people put like a small electric heater in the wintertime, a fan, dehumidifier. In my case, we'll talk about what we do, but you don't want to put something that's going to be too much. It's really just to maintain the battery charged, and then also to maintain the RV battery charged as well, which we'll talk about. So now you could just go ahead and do this and plug it in here and then into your outlet. But one thing that we do use is a surge protector. This also we use it at campsites. It helps us analyze the circuit, make sure that it has 2 green lights, make sure that it's working good. We also got it for the house because if there's a lightning, we tend to have thunderstorms, lightning storms. If there's any surge or the power goes out and then it surges back, I want this to protect the RV as well at home. So it's nicely built, gives you protection from water, from rain. So you could plug this in directly into your home with the adapter, or in this case, you could also use something like this to help protect it from any surges as well when you're at home. Okay, so just like the plug from the RV, this one's going to plug in directly into the Camco adapter. And what you want to make sure is that it's going to be it could be a little funky because these outdoor cases sometimes may be a little small, a little tight. Thankfully, ours stays put. If it doesn't stay put, you may have to find some way to hold it nice and tight so it doesn't come off unexpectedly. But in this case, I put it in the top, and you could see here that the circuit analyzer says that it's good to go. They're both green. It is correctly wired. So we have the RV battery main switch off. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in directly. Make sure it's nice and tight. Close it. I like to give it some pull here so that if it rains, it has a nice angle away from the water. And you're set. And now we have electricity in the RV just like you do at a campsite. So now I come inside, turn that on, the main power of the RV. And now you have light in the RV that's being powered through your home. You could see that certain things here that usually require AC current, like the microwave, is on. The AC could also be on, but like mentioned earlier, we don't want to overload the house outlet with too much pull, so we're not going to use the air conditioning. Okay, now that you have powered the RV using your house electricity, we're going to use that electricity to now keep so that's helping keep the battery from the RV charged, the coach battery. Now we're going to use that electricity from the house to also charge the RV battery. This is a battery trickle charger. There's a couple that seem to be good in the market. Battery tender, and this one is NoCo Genius 5. I really like this one. It's doing a great job. It has a really good length, so I can pass this through the door, and it's going to connect into one of the AC outlets of the RV, since we now have AC thanks to the house outlet, and it's long enough to go all the way through a window or a door. And plug in to the front of the RV, under the hood, to the RV battery. Now this is not part of the NoCo. This is just something that I have, which helps protect it from any water intrusion. These are great. I use it for so many things around the house, such as Christmas lights, string lights outside, whatever the case may be, to protect the connection. You probably don't need it, to be honest. It's probably going to be fine. It gives me extra peace of mind. It has a connection there, so it's well protected, it seems like, anyway, but this gives me more peace of mind to know that there's no water that's going to be going in there, or at least minimal intrusion of water in places where I don't want water to be. So this has been in storms, big storms, and it's done great. And for different purposes, it has nice locks in every corner. You could see the locks at every corner, and then this thing really gives it a nice clamp. So we're going to go ahead and connect this. Now read the manual for whatever battery trickle charger you get. For this one, I'm going to do the red first, then the black, and then you plug in this to the AC at the end. The other cool thing is that this one supports 12-volt battery, ACM, and lithium as well, but you got to make sure that you select the mode. So make sure you go through the actual manual of your trickle charger. I can probably do a review of this more closely in a different video, so make sure that you don't crease it too much. Usually there will be a little gap in between. This is a Ford E450, and I put it through a little gap here that I've seen. It does not damage the cords. So for curiosity's sake, we finished our trip more than 2 weeks ago, so the battery has not been turned on. The RV hasn't been turned on in about 2 weeks, so I want to see how bad the voltage has gotten. In the winter, this does go down. Within a week or two, the voltage starts going down, so it's a good idea to keep your batteries nice and charged. That way on your next trip, you could just get up, start your trip and turn it on, and knowing that it'll be ready when you're ready. So let's see. So it's 12.4. So as I mentioned, read the manual of your battery trickle charger, but this one we will go ahead and we'll clamp on the positive first, and then the negative. You can see here that this is not yet powered on because I haven't plugged it into the outlet inside the RV. And this gives you an idea of the crease where it's going to be going through. Okay, and the last step is to plug this into your outlet inside the RV. In our case, we have a little compartment up here for an outlet which powers the TV. And this is where I will go ahead and plug it in. So now you can see that the NOCO is on. The correct mode is on to a normal 12-volt battery. And the red light tells you that it's starting to sense the charge level. And eventually when it gets to the last level, then it'll pulsate to let you know that it's trickle charging. And you should be good to go. Your RV will turn on next time you're ready. Okay, another thing I do, this is just to prevent mice from entering any holes that are maybe easy to get to. And you may need to analyze some of the underside of the RV to see if there's any other possible openings. You know, not every RV is made perfectly. As a minimum, I like to cover the pipes that are outside. This is the exhaust pipe. This is the generator exhaust pipe. Nice and tight. And lastly, as you can see from when we connected this to charge from the house, this is going on the lawn, on the grass, and it provides a direct access to the RV. So a mouse could find this and track it all the way up to where there is a hole to get into the RV compartment. Right there. So you want to make sure that you can cover that as well. This one can be a little tricky. Okay, so let's talk tires. It's a good idea. I like checking the air pressure after a trip just to make sure that I know the baseline of where it's at. Depending on whether it's winter or summer, then it may fluctuate with the weather. Another good idea is every month or two, move the tires, go forward, go back, take it out, so that you don't have a bald spot at the bottom. Now this is a nice little electric gauge that it has PSI, BAR, and KPA. I use the PSI, so let's see. So it's 78.3. Usually this is inflated to 80, so that's not too bad. Right now it's empty, so it doesn't have a lot of weight. At least it gives me a good baseline of knowing where the air pressure is at the time of storage. 78.4. Now for sun protection, I like to clean the tire, and I'm using this product 303 for interior exterior UV protection for rubber. So it's really great. I do it once a month, so I put it on my calendar and do this about every 30 days or so. So make sure you clean them. These are new tires as of December 2023. When we bought the RV, the tires, the tread was not bad, but they were starting to crack. I think they were the original tires from the original owner. It's a 2018, so at that point it had been 5, 6 years. So we wanted to be safe and got new tires at Discount Tire. These are Hankook HTs Highway. So they've been really great, really smooth, and got to protect your investment. So this is your protection from the sun and from cracking. So you kind of just spread it around. Now, of course, you can also cover your tires, and we'll talk about how we cover our RV. But even if you cover your tires, it probably doesn't hurt to make sure you make them look nice and clean and protect it from any UV damage. Okay, so another good idea is to rinse the RV from the bottom, from the underside. In case you went to the beach, in case you were in sandy areas, you want to prevent that stuff from becoming a problem, from creating rust. So good rinse in the bottom is a good idea to make sure that your RV is clean. Other things you might consider are using silicone lubricant. I use these to lubricate these locks. You could see that the previous owner, I got it with some rust, so I want to prevent that from continuing. I can also work on getting that rust off, but I do this maybe every 3 months. So it's a good idea to do it if you haven't done it in a while after a trip. Make sure that they lubricate. Okay, so about the inside now. So in general, we like to do a general clean surfaces, take all the food out from the refrigerator, clean your kitchen. You don't want to have any smells, anything that might attract mice, rodents, insects, whatever the case may be. So that includes the cockpit from all the little snacks you might have ate on the trip, your bedroom, your bunk, all the areas where people eat, where people sleep, where food might be. You want to make sure you empty everything out so that it just feels everything's just everything is nice and clean for the next time. Now we also like to open everything. That way no smell really stays saturated inside any one compartment. So we do that with our pantry. We don't have anything. We do keep maybe some oil, some salt. That's about it. But we like to keep everything clean, and I like putting this so it absorbs any extra smell. But basically, you want to clean everything out. We like opening all the doors, make sure everything's open and ready for the next time. Now, as far as humidity, we live in a humid climate, especially in summertime. So I close all the windows so that humidity doesn't come in more. Otherwise, it'll be impossible to get out. And I put this bag of damp rid, which basically is a passive collection of water in humidity places. You could use it in a crawl space, basement. In this case, I put it in the RV. It might take maybe 2 weeks, depending on your climate, 2, 3 weeks, maybe even a month if you're lucky. Once it fills up to the line, as you can see here, it's filled up. That means it's ready to change. So I leave it here hanging and it does the job. At least it helps keep the humidity down. Another thing I like to do is monitor the RV from the inside of the house. So this helps me monitor the RV's temperature and the humidity. You could see it has a Fahrenheit and a Celsius option. Right now it's pretty humid. I have the doors open. I've been in here working, but this thing won't do a perfect job. It'll just kind of help get some humidity out. If you really want to, you could maybe power an indoor dehumidifier that doesn't exceed the 15 or 20 amps that you're connected to from the house. But this at least lets me know where we are with the humidity, gauge it. You can also track it on your phone, see the levels day to day, hour to hour, week to week. Super simple, cheap, easy to monitor, and keep it inside the RV. This one is only Bluetooth powered, but they also sell Wi-Fi. And lastly, one of the things I do, and this might just be because I am OCD and a control freak sometimes, I like to see what's going on inside the RV. This is a great little camera, very cheap to get, connects to your Wi-Fi. So if you have the RV parked in proximity to your Wi-Fi router, This is a great little tool to just make sure that you don't have to come into the RV to see what's going on. This thing moves about 360 degrees. It moves up and down. So I put it on the bunk bed, and if it detects any motion, could be a mice, could be anything, I will know because I will get a notification on my phone. And the cool thing is that since you already have power coming inside the house, from inside the house, then you could just plug this in like a normal outlet. Lastly, we leave everything open so everything can flow, the air can flow nicely. So there you have it, guys. That's everything that we do to maintain our RV and store it at home. Everything about an RV is about travel, having fun, getting to new places, enjoying, creating new family experiences, enjoying new places. But in reality, the RV is at home more than it is on the road, unless you're a full-time RVer. And if we do these simple steps to protect our investment, then it'll be ready for the next time. So that's it. If you liked it, please subscribe to our channel, like the video, share it, and we'll see you on the next time.